Jim Rohn was saying one time that 80% of what actually result at the end of the day from our business endeavor is based on strategy. It's only 20% that is based on your hard work. We're talking of how to secure your category leadership in where you are using the power of storytelling.
You need to find those who already identify with the identity of the service you provide, that future identity. I often say this is the biggest problem that businesses make. It's thinking about the demographic of the firmographic of the company they're trying to sell to. Think about the psychographic of those people, which is where their identity is anchored in, and then think about their behavior.
We must learn the strategy behind what we are doing before we can get the result in it. Because the way you tell your story to be able to sell a product of $2 or $5 is different from a story that you are going to tell to sell a product of $2 million. It's story, but it's not the same. Story is story, and it works. It will work.
Create stories that identify. That is the one thing that will cut across any line.
But why would that work? Of course it works because we are talking of tickling with the emotion of the people. Now we have Josiah in our midst. I'm happy to have you here, brother. Please share with us. We are talking about strategic storytelling for B2B and tech. How do you secure category leadership? Please share with us. What is your take?
So first, I'd like to thank you guys for the program that's been ran. And I would like to humbly submit that I'm not quite experienced in marketing and the strategies that aligns with it. And pretty much in technology, I get to be a little bit more unemotional sometimes, but I'm learning the rope of being able to get into people's mindset, becoming one with them in their thought process. One of the things that I have done so far in what I do, I have a strong background in technology, computer engineering, and then my job role is pretty much solution security architect. And currently I am pushing a narrative in education that's quite different. So what I do is I run a couple of tests in various groups, Facebook or whatnot, and I try to find out what people want. So what I have gathered so far since we started this particular campaign or this particular program, where we serve the marginalized communities, or what we call in the US underserved communities, where we provide them the tools and resources they need to remain gainfully employed in the STEM, especially cybersecurity, AI, IoT, or what they call frontier technology in UK or Europe. So we found out that a lot of them, they are interested in changing their life, having a better life outcome. However, but they're already in debt. It's very difficult. So I decided to offer this program for free. And to get them into it is hard. I have to tell a story. I have to find schools. I have to go to the little social media spaces and tell a story, what we are doing with our registered apprenticeship program. And what we're finding out is a lot of them want to be in the program, but they have some difficulties here and there. We tried to have them come in, but then we noticed that sometimes they're not very confident, or maybe we miss a step, or we're not telling a clear story. Some of them will be like, do we get paid for this program and all of that? So as we are learning how to onboard these individuals, we are also tapping into resources of people like you guys. We're learning. As you can see, I'm here. I'm trying to learn and figure out how to tell a similar story to get the people in. We don't have that yet. We don't know how to become the category king in what we do. We know what we're doing, but to get other people to buy into it, even if it is a free service for people that live in the U.S., in the state of South Carolina, we still don't know how to get the locals to be a part of it because of the biases that are engaged, where you were born somewhere else and now you live here, you're a part of the community and society, and still there's still that mistrust that goes in. So these are part of the what I call the dichotomy, the mix-up that you find when you're trying to solve a problem. We shouldn't be personal, take it personal. It's just what exists because of the mindset and the system, how things are run in these spaces. So I would say that this is not a strong suit for us. It's not a wheelhouse. And that's why we're seeking expertise in this area to see how we can solidly communicate effectively and get people to see this for the solution that it should be. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Josiah. That is an important contribution from there. And also, I think you are inciting more conversation in line with what we are talking about today, which is actually a very important conversation, because we're talking of how to secure your category leadership in where you are using the power of storytelling. And it works. It will work if we know how to do it. Pay attention to another thing, which is strategy. I think Jim Rohn was saying one time that 80% of what actually results at the end of the day from our business endeavor is based on strategy. It's only 20% that is based on your hard work. So this is why I really like this work that we are doing here, and that we must learn the strategy behind what we are doing before we can get the result in it. Because like I was saying before, just now, story is story. You come from, you went to work, you return home, you tell story. It's the same. Then you are a business executive, you tell story. It's story, but it's not the same. The way you tell your story to be able to sell a product of $2 or $5 is different from a story that you are going to tell to sell a product of $2 million. It's story, but it's not the same. Anyway, I see Tanya was flashing her mic, and I know certainly she want to add something to that. Please go ahead, Tanya, and be brief on that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be really, really brief, and I'm just gonna give an analogy to help you get this. So I don't know. You mentioned that you are in the US, so you guys obviously have the American football. But I know that right now in Africa, for example, everybody's into the AFCON. Okay, not everybody, but I'm definitely into AFCON. I'm really watching all the matches, but I had my teams that I was supporting. And I have a point, I promise. So obviously I was flying the flag high for DRC Congo, yes. I was flying the flag high for South Africa, and I was flying the flag high for Nigeria. All of them in the semi-finals right now. That's a plus. I should have bet on them with my money. But the thing is, the reason why I'm originally from Congo, grew up in South Africa, so obviously I identify as a Congolese South African. And I've gotten to know a lot of Nigerians. You see Obehi, Izu, and I love the culture. And I identify as Nigerian by extension, by fire, by force. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because you need to find those who already identify with the identity of the service you provide, that future identity. So instead of trying to convince the world that, hey, you need this, you want this, and telling stories to convince them to come to you, create stories that identify. That is the one thing that will cut across any line. Because I have some business friends that are from Australia. And me and her, we really rock together because we think the same way. She has never set foot in Africa, and I have never set foot in Australia. But we think alike about business. So what is the identity of the people that you need in this program, in the service, in this product? Because there are only two currencies in life. One currency, we can make it back, the other we don't. So that is the most expensive currency, actually, time. So I never feel like anything free should feel like it's not valuable, because anything free is a currency. I just spent an hour or so here. I can never get that. I'm even closer to another day right now. So we cannot get back that hour. So it's the most expensive currency. So what is the identity of those people? What do they identify as? What is the subconscious belief that leads how they make decisions and take actions? Once you have that, and that is why it's not about the demographic. I often say this is the biggest problem that businesses make. It's thinking about the demographic of the firmographic of the company they're trying to sell to. Think about the psychographic of those people, which is where the identity is anchored in, and then think about their behavior. Those are the two that will help you cut across the line.
And that is so powerful. And one might ask, but why would that work? Of course it works because we are talking of tickling with the emotion of the people.